Hello.
That was on me
there's
and Tucker. That was totally on me. My bad. I didn't add us to the stream. We were just a black screen for the whole episode.
Oh my goodness. We are the Real Football Fans of New Jersey. It's Wednesday, Wine Wednesday, RFFNJ Wednesday. We love being here with you. Drinking on Hump Day. Always a good time.
Hump Day, your weekly dose of housewives and football.
Yes. Episode 125 of the Real Football Fans of New Jersey, and we have a good one for you tonight. The NFL season is right around the corner, so we are going to give you some really fun predictions later on in the show during our game, but we are going to start it with our poll results. We did poll you guys on our Instagram pages, and we have 3 questions for you. One was a blowout. 2 were very close.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right into it. Question number 1. What week 1 NFL game are you more excited to watch? The season opener, which is the Houston Texans at the reigning Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints? 90% of you are so ready,
I think,
to get a look at Tom Brady and these Buccaneers versus a Drew Brees-led Saints team.
I think 90% is our highest percentage we've had in our polls.
It's definitely as far as getting a lot of votes and it being such a strong majority. Yeah.
I think we've usually been in like the 60, 70%,
Right.
90% though.
90%. Everybody is ready to see this showdown.
Listen, and that's who I voted for because I'm ready. I've seen the Kansas City Chiefs. I just saw them win a Super Bowl. I
also feel like the Texans aren't really going to test the Chiefs that much.
And it's going to be interesting to see them without DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not looking forward to that, but I want to see how the dynamic of the team works like that.
Right.
But I think you're right. The headliner here is Tom Brady at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Let's not forget the fact that this is now, or always has been, but this is a division matchup. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
And if Tampa Bay pans out to be who some people think they might end up being this year, it means that it's going to be a race between them and the Saints to see who wins that division.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really awesome to watch. I can't wait for it. Question number 2, this is fantasy football related. We've been giving you a lot of fantasy content, trying to help you with that. When's your draft this weekend?
Monday. So it is on Labor Day, at like 7:00 at night, I think. So I actually did already draft another. So I'm in another division too. I won't read off the team, but I do have it. I can post it to our Instagram. I drafted last night. So I'm pretty confident in that one. So I do have my, this was kind of like a one-off one. I have
give us your first round pick at least.
Of last night?
Yeah. Who'd you take with your first pick?
I'm blanking.
You don't even remember?
No, because I can give you some. I can give you some context to it, but I would be giving away something. Oh, Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah. Well, it's a solid team. So.
Yeah. We wish everybody good luck. Maybe if you've already drafted, good luck. This season with the team that you've assembled, and if you haven't already, continue to listen to us, do your reading, do your research.
Keep sharing.
Honestly, go do mock drafts on ESPN. ESPN's got some good mock drafts going. That are free that you can do online. So good luck to everybody playing fantasy football this year. But our question is, should the Kansas City Chiefs rookie running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire be a top 10 fantasy football pick? This is very close, a lot closer than our first question. 56% of you said no. I mean, what did you say?
I said yes. So
I said yes as well.
To me, it's a no-brainer. And I say that confidently because I've been given confidence from other people over the past couple of weeks. You would have asked me a couple of weeks ago, I probably would have said no. But looking into these mock drafts, looking at what people have been doing, seeing their drafts and everything like that, really looking into the kid. He is a rookie, so you do need to understand that. But after just analyzing and looking at everything and really listening to people that really are probably a lot smarter than me with football, yes, hands down, it's a yes.
Right. It just seems weird because normally we don't have a scenario like this where we put probably when Saquon came into the league as a rookie running back, but usually you don't see rookies going in your top 10. But definitely if you are in a PPR league, your first 10 picks, it's probably going to be maybe 8 or 9 of them are going to be running backs, which is why I think Edwards-Helaire deserves to kind of slip in there and just see what he does. I mean, he's going to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like he was, I believe, the first running back off the board.
He'll do some sort of magic. So he's going to a phenomenal team with a phenomenal, just every aspect of it. So he's going to do something.
Right.
So,
and remember, people, we always say this. I feel as though there's not a ton of good running backs. So maybe, you do roll the dice on a rookie who could end up being explosive for you. So, all right. And our last question is Housewives related. What canceled Housewives franchise would you rather see make a comeback? DC or Miami? This was another close one, but we had 57% of you say Miami. That's what I said. We went opposite.
I went DC on this one. So it's funny. I loved the question because I've been seeing it actually across a lot of like, those like Bravo accounts, like all this stuff. People always bring up these two. And like I saw someone the other day, like bring up Ladies of London as well. Like who should we bring back? I've recently have been watching the old, DC was only one season, but Miami as well. And I was, I was into both of them, the seasons that I watched early on from them. But DC was just so much. I thought the biggest story, how it only lasted one season was beyond me. The biggest storyline was one of the couples broke into the White House.
Yes, you know what?
Is that why they canceled
remember
it?
Hearing that.
Literally,
it
was like a world, like a crime, literally a crime.
You know what? Your answer then to this poll question is a more educated answer. I have never watched a single episode of either one of these franchises, so Miami's
okay. It's an acquired taste.
Mine simply came down to what I thought would make a more interesting backdrop: DC or Miami, and Miami feels more Housewives to me.
Miami is.
Party.
It is. The women are very bougie. And that's coming from, someone who watches Beverly Hills, but the Miami girls are a little, I can't really explain it. It is an acquired taste for sure. It's not something I watch reruns now. It's not something I'd probably be dedicated to today.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't think either one of these are truly going to make a comeback, but it was fun just to poll you guys and get your thoughts on that one.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, thank you guys for providing your insights for our polls. As always, we are live right now if you are not listening to the recording post episode. So if you are watching us live, feel free to ask us questions while we're going through. And we will answer them. Duh. Yes. Okay. So let's get into our NFL quick hot topics for you. So we got a lot of moving parts right here. And there's actually been stuff moving before we, after this too.
We have so much going on
so much going on, but we're going to give you 4 areas that we want to walk through. So on Monday, a lot of moving and grooving for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Jacksonville Jaguars have waived Leonard Fournette after 3 seasons with them. Head coach Doug Marrone said they exhausted all trade options for him, but weren't able to get anything and felt it was best to move on from him, which is interesting because that's something that we discussed too. It was just waiving him. There was but then, there must have been something else going on. But then afterwards, reports where we tried everything. But it's like, did you try hard enough? It's Leonard Fournette. It's not some Joe Schmo.
This was a very other interesting comment that Doug Marrone made when he was talking about this. And he essentially put out there that they were trying to get even 5th, 6 rounders for him, and they couldn't get anything. I mean, that's a huge knock on Leonard Fournette.
And I really don't believe that, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. So I think the underlying issue possibly with Leonard Fournette is I think he's a little bit of not good in the locker room. Like, I feel like he's been trouble. They haven't really liked his attitude. They haven't really liked him as a leader. Because I was like, I can't remember. Has Leonard Fournette been injured? Like, what's the deal? Why does nobody want him? And then I'm like reading more into it, and it sounded more like he was just a head case that they didn't want to deal with.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too because a lot of like names that are being thrown around right now, like the New England Patriots, popped up right away because he would be their RB1,
and the Miami Dolphins too.
Yeah, and like thinking about it, like listen, like the Patriots signed Antonio Brown. I don't know. Listen, I love Bill Belichick, but when that pick for him, and I just don't even know what the hell was going on for that in that area. Who knows if it's something like a locker room, that's not going to push the Patriots away, clearly, because they've gotten some head cases in the past.
Right.
We do have a quote from head coach Doug Marrone in regards to the situation. So it reads, really just trying to take the team and put the best team together from what we've seen in our practices. So at the end of the day, I just felt that was that was the best decision for us as a team. I think it gives us the best opportunity with the skill sets that we have with other players in there. I just thought it was the best for the team doing it now. He literally says, I just felt best for the team 15 times in a 2-sentence quote.
It's just ouch. It's ouch because like he's basically saying we're assembling the best players for this team and you're not one of them. And we couldn't even get a 5th or 6th round pick for you. That's tarnishing his like ego and his resume and everything like that. In my opinion, let's not forget Leonard Fournette was the number 4th overall draft pick. I believe it was the 2017 draft. And he just, it's funny because he has produced, he has put up good numbers like here and there. But a lot of people feel as though he didn't live up to, I mean, getting drafted number 4 overall, especially as a running back these days is pretty big.
I think I made a comment on draft night of how excited he was to go to the organization.
And I think, I don't know. I think maybe these two were just ready to move on from each other, but I do find it interesting that nobody wanted to trade for him.
I don't like the comments though. Like I said, he said, I just felt like in like 100 times, but I need concrete evidence. What is going on behind the scenes?
Right. That's why I was trying to dig more. He was suspended for a game in 2018. He ended up, he punched Shaq Lawson from the Buffalo Bills. I don't know. I get the vibe that they didn't like him as a leader for that football team. And if you're the number 4 overall draft pick a couple of years ago, they are counting on you at this point to be a veterin leader.
Absolutely.
So
especially for a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, where they're searching for their name right now. They're searching for that brand identity for that team. And I think that's a great point that you just brought up there. All right, number 2, this is great for our New York Giants. Honestly, we had been waiting for it for a decent amount of time, and it finally came through. So again, on Monday, the New York Giants signed cornerback Logan Ryan to a 1-year, $7.5 million deal. And apparently the Giants do still have some cap space here. So I'm very excited if we signed him for that much.
It was a good amount of money.
So his contract with Tennessee expired after last season. They decided not to pay him the $10 million per year he'd made previously. So he is from New Jersey, Rutgers native with experience needed for our defense desperately. So I loved, obviously we've been waiting for this. We knew there was talk soon. It was like, we need to get this guy. When they signed him, great. What I love the most, and maybe it's because of me, because like I'm in social media 24/7. Like I'm in there. I can see how people react. You know how salty I was when Eli Apple got drafted to the Giants, his reaction. I'm very good with like seeing that. I love a guy like him. It was literally announced 0.5 seconds later. He was on those social media accounts. I'm coming home. I'm ready for the New York Giants. Like I'm ready for this. Like it's that excitement. Like these players need to be excited that they're playing football. Sometimes guys don't go days without mentioning that they've gotten traded, that they're doing things like that. He's excited to play. He's excited to play back in his home state. And I just love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm here for it.
The deal with Logan Ryan, and right now when he got picked up from the Giants, I think it was ESPN who had him ranked as the second best free agent that was still available behind Jadeveon Clowney. Logan Ryan was trying to basically make the deal, get the $10 million that he or more elsewhere, and Tennessee was not willing to do it. Which is why he was sitting, and other teams weren't willing to do it either, which is why he was sitting for so long. He ended up firing his agent, getting a new agent, and kind of deciding like, okay, like I'll take a pay cut, whatever. And then I think he was just, again, another situation where when you don't make a deal happen with the team that you feel should be showing you loyalty, you kind of get to an attitude where you're like, okay, I'm ready for my next my
and
next
I think
chapter.
that's fair. I honestly think that a lot of people would, feel that way. Just take away the sport of football. Think of it as any career. If you feel that your job is not giving you what,
love you deserve. Yeah, absolutely.
James,
you owe me a bottle of wine.
You owe me a sip. You owe me a sip of wine. Big silence on the podcast. We need to get like one of those the sound machines. All right, so moving into our third point, I already forgot how to pronounce his name.
I'll say it for you. On Sunday, the Minnesota Vikings acquired Yannick Ngakoue. That's a very hard name. Caitlin is the worst with names, but I have to admit, this is the one name in the National Football League that trips me up. Listen,
I'm gonna be blunt with our audience. I've been calling him Yannick Njoku for the past 6 months.
Don't tell them that.
I'm telling them that. I don't care, guys. I see something on paper and I'm like, that's how you guys know.
I'm like, you're thinking of David Njoku,
and I am. You're absolutely correct. I am, but I just saw
this is his brother Yannick.
I don't know. I am the worst. And it's not even like names like this that are a little tricky. I can't even pronounce the easiest name in the book. Like my name is Caitlin and it's spelled as like a certain way. If I was like an outsider and never saw my name spelled this way, I'd be like, Caitlin, like what? Like I'm just so bad. So please no one ever take offense to anything I say. I don't know how to speak clearly.
That's fine.
But thank you, Katie, for that.
Welcome.
So from Jacksonville for a 21 second round pick and a conditional 5th round pick in 2022.
Yeah.
It's a 1-year, $12 million deal, and he was set to make $17.88 million with Jacksonville and gave up $6 million for a fresh start in Minnesota.
Essentially just what I said.
It's
like sometimes
the
when
same
you feel like people aren't showing you loyalty, you're willing to take a pay cut to just start a new chapter
build
in your
on
football
something
career.
else. Because these two players entering new teams, they could easily, so they're 1-year deals, okay? So say this first year goes phenomenal. You can easily go back up to that 10 mil, that 17.8 mil area where you were.
Right.
So you can take that step back. That's totally fine. But
and then not
jump
only
forward.
that, are you taking a pay cut and you're cool with it, but you're also going from a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars to a team that can contend in the NFC with the Minnesota Vikings. So, I mean, there's always that factor too that might motivate people to make a move.
So no, but he was definitely on the radar too for the Giants for a little bit. And I was kind of like waiting, hoping they pulled the trigger there. And it just frustrates me that he's going to a team like the Minnesota Vikings where I'm like, come on, do they really need anyone else?
They
stop.
They do.
I know. It's always
That's
good
that
teams.
team in the NFC that I feel flies under the radar, and they need a couple more weapons to push them over the edge.
I know, but still. Alrighty, then again on Monday, obviously Sunday, Monday, big news scene here. And like I said before, earlier, so much has happened between then too. We picked these 4 topics for you, but stuff was happening in the past hour or so. So keep those alerts on, those NFL alerts. On Monday, it was reported, and this is a tough one.
I hate this one.
It kills me too. It shakes me to my core.
Yeah.
That Los Angeles Chargers safety Derwin James will miss the 2020 season. To get meniscus surgery. So last season, he missed significant time due to a stress factor in his foot. All-Pro and Pro Bowler during his rookie season, but at the end of this year, he would play just 5 games in the last 2 seasons, which is so crazy because he has so much potential and he's so talented. So just 5 games in 2 seasons, and everyone in the world is heartbroken over this loss. Everyone is
all about Derwin James, his rookie year. I was all about Derwin James, his rookie year. I really, truly felt like I remember saying this kid's got to be the defensive rookie of the year. Like I was all about him. I thought he was going to become like him and Jamal Adams. I was like, these are the next 2 best safeties that are coming up in the league right now. And to have lost him to injury for this whole season, to have barely had him, last year, it's really disappointing for a Chargers team that I feel needs him. That's another team that needs to get over the hump, and they can't afford to lose
a setback like this. Yeah. It's honestly, it was one, like I said before, like it shook me to my core. It was reading this news. It was just like, ugh.
And I watched Hard Knocks last night.
Yeah. Did they mention it?
No.
Because that was a question. I thought it was too short of a period of time. They probably have the footage of him doing it,
probably. I just don't think it is happened yet on the show. But on the show, it did happen that wide receiver Mike Evans, he's banged up too. He got hurt. They showed that.
Yeah.
Can't afford to lose him either. No. I think he is going to miss a couple of games, nothing too significant. But at the same time, like, you want your stars out there for all 16 games. And maybe that's just asking a lot at this point. But I don't know. We did talk about the fact that, forget people testing positive for COVID, but the fact that they weren't really practicing as much as they would, they're not getting preseason real game time reps, real game time practice. I feel we are going to see a lot of injuries. So it's not surprising, but you don't like to see it happen to anybody, but you definitely don't like to see it happen to these, young stars in the league that have such promising futures.
Yeah, absolutely not. So honestly though, like let's hope 2021, he's back in action and for a full season, a full strong season, things like that. And just a quick update too, because we did bring this to your attention a couple weeks back. So officially today, the Giants have released cornerback DeAndre Baker. So he is officially out. Okay. And that's just a follow-up from, I think, three weeks ago when he was put on the commissioner's exempt list. So
we did talk about that.
No, today they officially released him.
Officially? I thought it happened like a week or 2 ago.
He was put on the exempt list, and today they officially released him. Which, listen, I have the same mindset. They should have released him like weeks ago. Like,
I mean,
the proof is in the pudding. It's all there. It's all there.
All right. Well, It doesn't happen too often, but when there is a big college football story out there, we definitely like to talk about college football as well. And to me, you know, I don't watch college football enough, or I do watch it enough, or to know that this is a big deal, right?
It is a huge deal.
So on Monday, LSU wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase announced that he was going to be opting out of the 2020 season amid the COVID pandemic, and he does intend to enter the 2021 NFL draft. He is a junior.
Someone is liking us away on the gram. Baby, just sending those hearts. Send them.
The junior was the most productive wide receiver.
That's it. We're getting a telephone. Someone's phoning in.
The junior was the most productive wide receiver in the FBS last year, and he broke the SEC single season record in both receiving yards and touchdown catches.
Why do you guys think I don't like LSU so much? Here's why.
He also won the Biletnikoff Award as the nation's top wide receiver, and he is expected to not only be the first wide receiver off the board in next year's draft, but this kid will probably go in the top 5.
Yes. But I do struggle with him missing this season. And I respect his decision. This is nothing against that. Everyone has decisions to make right now. That's fine.
Yeah.
To miss a full college season and coming off great stats. What we just read off is absolutely for a team to jump the gun and take him so early.
This is why he's okay to do it. And this is why NFL teams will still take him. So we were talking about this in my office today, and we were talking about Ja'Marr Chase opting out. And basically it's a scenario where, yes, COVID, like, you know, it's not that great of a situation. We don't know who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. And essentially it makes sense for somebody like Ja'Marr Chase, who to me, whether he plays this season or not, is still going to be a top 5 pick, I think. So instead of chancing it, because there's COVID, but there's also, you can go out and play this year when things maybe might not even matter, and you can get injured, and then you're completely wiped out of the first round potentially, and who knows how much you'll fall, and who knows how you can come back from injury. This makes perfect sense for me to see a kid like him. And I think if you know, like, you trust your abilities and you think I'm going to be like a lottery pick in the draft, I think it makes sense at this point to opt out. And I know it's maybe not a popular decision, but I think it's a smart and wise decision. Don't hurt your draft stock, because I think opting out, your draft stock will stay as is. But if you do play college football this year and you do get hurt, your draft stock will go down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's safe to say for anyone, for any season.
Right. So just because I feel like he is a lock, regardless whether he plays this year or not, to think that he's going to be a lock in the top 5, top 10, I say I totally get it. It's a shame. You want to see the stars of college football go out there and play and compete if they're able to. But financially and just everything like that, it makes sense. I get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a funny question coming in from my cousin. So if you guys did not know, we actually do film and record at my parents' house for the most part.
Yep.
And he did ask if we were in the forbidden room and that we were not allowed in as children.
That's that room, right?
So Katie and I are from New Jersey. It's very common in New Jersey to have a kitchen, to have a dining room, and to have a living room. Living rooms are usually off
we didn't go in our living room.
Yeah, so that is the forbidden room that my cousin is referring to. It's a living room and you're not allowed to go in it. He's liking the comment right now. He's laughing. We are not, though. We are in the dining room.
Yeah, I've never been in that room of your house.
I'd
never been in that room of no, we would go in that room in my house for Christmas, and we would have the tree, and we would open gifts and everything like that.
So I'm speaking though to, you know, it's a very common thing in New Jersey, and I actually found that out recently from listening to so a lot of people, it's not a thing around the world. So it is the forbidden room. So we are still not allowed. I actually slept there on Christmas because my sister had the flu. I was shocked that I was allowed to. Shooketh to my core. But no, we are not in the forbidden room.
Thanks for the random question.
I loved it.
Thanks for the laugh.
Okay, so let's get into our big stories of the week for Housewives. Keep with us, though. Our game is football related, so we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good one.
A lot of fun with predictions later.
Yes.
So, and some of them might be spicy. So let's get into the big stories of the week for Housewives. I just said that before, but I'm going to say it again. So Dorinda in fact, was fired by Bravo.
Right. We were a little unsure of it last week when we told you about
Mm-hmm.
it on the show, but it's true.
It is true. So obviously she announced that she was leaving RHONY, and it came out that she was being fired for being a mean drunk, and execs did not want her on a season with her abrasive behavior.
Yeah.
So we did, dig into it a little bit more. So apparently the reunion was the final straw, as she wouldn't acknowledge or apologize for any of the way she acted all season, which makes sense because near where we are right now in the season, every time someone confronts her, she is doing, they're like, okay, all right.
Yeah. That's been the toughest thing for me to watch with Dorinda this season is the women trying to actually, especially Luann, trying to genuinely come from a good place and talk to her and just, in a gentle way. And Dorinda just blow her off and just shut her up. And that's your opinion. It's so condescending and it's so rude. And honestly, we have seen clips now of a little preview of the RHONY reunion.
Yes, we did.
And you can see that Dorinda is in that same mind frame of feeling like she's not coming from a place of actually genuinely being sorry. So that's tough. It's going to be tough to watch again.
It is for sure. So another factor was the joke that she made towards Tinsley while Tinsley was still there before leaving for Chicago. Yeah. Tinsley's been so she made the decision to freeze her eggs at an older age. She is over 40, or maybe she is 40.
No, she is over. She's like 42 or 43.
So she made the decision to freeze her eggs, so that is it's not a fertility issue, it's a fertility decision.
Right.
And basically Dorinda made a cruel joke of saying, you can use my turkey baster to get pregnant, which that's not how things work. For anyone listening or watching, that's not how things work. The tool might look like that in the doctor's office, but is that most likely not the case? So apparently that really offended Andy Cohen. As you know, Andy Cohen has just received a baby boy from a surrogate.
Right.
So going through things like that of, preserving eggs and putting them, I'm not a fertility doctor. I don't know what the process is, but just not joking about women's fertility issues. Right. She got dragged on social media, which I must have missed during that episode
missed it too.
And maybe shame on me for not really hearing that comment and taking so much offense to it right away.
I think it's because Dorinda says so many messed up, mean things, especially in that scene. I remember she was ruthless. So at this point, it's kind of like she says things and you're just like, holy crap.
And it's not like we're defending her. It's just more so like, wait a minute, what? So
fans were very upset about it.
So, and I guess again, that night I missed it. Like she got dragged on social media hardcore, especially too, because she does have a daughter. So someone did say, what if your daughter one day has fertility issues, which is, we talk about this on the show a lot. It is very common. A lot of housewives are open up about it, which we think is great because getting pregnant isn't easy.
Right.
Like it isn't. Like people think it's like a 1-2 punch. It's really not. So it's great that these women are open. Tinsley was very open about it. Yeah. And then you have a comment like this. But so this was reported by Page 6, where we did see it, where a lot of the housewives gossip comes from. But earlier today it was pointed out, Andy Cohen commented on the Instagram post and said, this is not true.
Yeah.
I think that they really dragged out the part where he was really insulted by that. He was definitely offended by that. I think everyone was. And I think it was probably like the chair. No, I
wouldn't be surprised if he sat her down and mentioned some of the things that she should be sorry for.
Yeah. But if that is in fact not true, we need to know why she was fired.
She was also apparently read other articles where it was talking about her being some of the producers and some of the people on the crew who really did not enjoy working with her, even to the fact where I read that one person said, I will quit. I will not come back if she's coming back next season. There's a lot of rumors swirling around, but I do think, I don't know about the nitty gritty details, but I do think if she was fired, which we're confirming that she is, I think the general basis is yes, she's been very mean. She has not been apologetic. And as far as any further details beyond that, it's beyond that. But I think the main scope of it is she's just gotten harsh and it hasn't been fun to watch her. It's not the Dorinda we all know and love.
Yeah. Yeah, and just real quick before we get into our other story, because we do have another comment on here, and this was more so breaking news right before the show. So Teresa and Joe Giudice, their divorce has been finalized, and she actually just put her home on the market for $2.5 million. So she is from the Montville, New Jersey area.
Melissa's house is still up for sale. They've been trying to sell it for like 5 years.
If I had that money, because her wine cellar in the basement is my dream come true. If I had that kind of money, I would have bought it already. And Mr. Eli Manning is selling his home in Summit, New Jersey.
His taxes are $88,000.
If you have that kind of money, just please start a GoFundMe for me. I'll take any of the cash you are willing to give. So a lot of our favorite people in the football and housewives worlds, I hope they're not moving far. Obviously, Teresa won't move far.
No, Teresa won't.
Eli,
she'll
though.
stay in the town. Her kids still all go to that school.
I do hope Eli does not leave the state of New Jersey, though. I'm a little concerned. He might go back to NOLA with his family.
He might.
No, don't leave.
All right, but our second big story of the week in the world of housewives, it kind of plays off of our first story about a rumored potential new cast member for RHONY. Obviously, we do know that people like Luann confirmed it. A couple other people confirmed that, yes, there's going to be a casting shakeup. Clearly, Dorinda going was a casting shakeup, but that
shook me.
You know that they're going to have to bring at least one person in, right? So Bravo is looking to replace Dorinda, and according to page 6, page 6. So sometimes I get a little like, okay, I don't know. Rachel Yucatel may be joining season 13. She was reportedly on the
I wouldn't have got that Yucatel. I would have been like,
well, we're going to talk about why I know that name and what you all might remember her from.
Yes.
But she was reportedly on the short list to join in season 12, but Bravo instead went with Leah. Thank God. That's my girl. I love her. Like, honestly, we're
here for you, Leah. We love you. Ride or die.
My new favorite.
We're the Leah mob over here. I'm married to the mob. We're married to the Leah mob.
Yeah, I totally was like on her website. Let's
get her on our show.
Like, what am I going to buy from this website?
Because it's affordable.
It's affordable merchandise.
Yeah, I do. I would love a Married to the Mob sweatshirt.
Yeah,
I love a good sweatshirt.
I love her. I honestly do. But
let's get her on the pod.
Yucatel is mainly known for being one of Tiger Woods' mistresses when that whole Tiger Woods scandal went down, as well as having an affair with married actor David Boreanaz. I don't know how to say his name, but I do know who he is.
Yes.
He's been on Bones, and if you got, like, I think he used to be on, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like way back in the day. You guys would know him if you saw his face.
He's very attractive. You would know
Keyword, married. He was married. She's also been, this is hilarious. It keeps getting better. She was also been linked to Harry Dubin.
No! Every New York housewives has a connection.
What is Harry Dubin working with down there? Like, honestly.
He must be hung like a horse, because it is like Harry Dubin's face is not attractive.
I'll never be able to get the image of him and Ramona making out of my head. It's literally the most horrific thing I've ever seen.
This is insulting for me to say, but like, I think anyone over the age of like
40
shouldn't be like making out.
Yeah.
But like the way they were like making out was like
definitely don't be making out like that in public.
I've never seen someone's jaw open that wide. It was like, have you ever seen Beetlejuice where they take
or like what's that famous painting of it's like a ghost and the mouth is like all big?
The one
like
that's
like
what
that's
the Scream one?
Yeah, that's literally what they looked like.
I was like thinking Beetlejuice when her mouth is literally and like this. It's this big. That's what they look like.
So bad.
Like I cannot.
But anyways, so Rachel Yucatel has also been linked to Harry Dubin.
That's actually on the application when you sign up to be a New York Housewives. Do you know Harry Dubin?
Have you effed Harry Dubin? You're in. You're in.
Do you know him? How?
All of New York is in.
Please comment how you know him.
Relation to Harry Dubin. Please explain. All right. Anyway, she's
such an uggo.
Another weird twist. She's also dated Real Housewives of Beverly Hills PK Kemsley for a year before he started dating his now wife, Dorinda.
PK is another gross.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a sad part, but she has a strong connection to New York. Besides growing up there, her fiance did die at the World Trade Center on September 11th. So that's very, very sad. Yeah. I assume that she's still living in New York, mainly full time to even be considered for the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it sounds
the
like
whereabouts, of course, are.
It certainly sounds like she has the resume to be a housewife.
This resume is basically she's been a New York housewife already for like 6 or 7 years.
And I do believe she is closer to like Leah's age. And
we've been seeing more success with younger people.
I don't want to see OGs go, right?
No.
but eventually, and maybe it's still like
if
a couple
Leah
years away,
is our next generation, I'm good.
Eventually, Housewives has been on for so long, right? New York has been on since 2007 or 2008. Ramona's like 62 or 63 years old.
We're not.
When Ramona hits 70,
we're not.
We can't see her still on the Real
Housewives.
And
she's gonna look snatched. Don't get us wrong.
She'll look amazing.
But 70.
But now we're getting like weird.
You're probably gonna be a grandmother.
My favorite thing from the last episode of RHONY was, or 2 episodes ago, when Leah had or one episode, Married to the Mob Party, and Sonia just shows up.
Oh my God.
And she was like, immediately went to like the 20-year-old guys.
She was loving
and she
it.
was like,
and they loved her.
Hot
they
guys.
loved her.
And she's like, do you just like look at me and see like Upper East Side like grandma? And they were like, yeah. And she's like,
they loved her though. Like honestly, like she fit in so nicely at that party.
I love that party. I texted Caitlin when I was watching. I was like, I want to go to a Married to the Mob Party. And some of them poo-pooed it. Dorinda was annoyingly poo-pooing it. But I actually really loved how much Sonia and Luann were just like, that was a great party. Like these people are real. These people are fun. Like I had a great time.
Fun, and real drinks. I'll take it. Sign me up. Sweatpants.
I'm all about that vibe. But anyways, those are our big 2 stories of the week in the world of Housewives, in the world of RHONY. And we're just going to keep you posted on that. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear more rumors about potential people slipping in, but that seems like a good candidate. So we'll see. We'll see.
Alrighty, let's get into our game. Maybe take a quick wine break, quick pause. Brought to you by, why don't you go ahead and tell them the wine that you posted to our channel?
Yes. So I do love red blends. I have said that
this is not an ad.
I do love red blends. It is my favorite kind of type of wine to drink. I haven't had it in a hot minute, but Dave Matthews from Dave Matthews.
Oh, I did not know that's what that was.
Yes, that is his, named after one of his songs called The Dreaming Tree. He does have a wine collection called The Dreaming Tree. This one is specifically called Crush. It is a red blend, pretty affordable.
I do like a red blend.
And I just happened to go to a new liquor store today, and I saw it. I went to Bottle King by You.
Oh, yeah. Great,
which is by my new office. So I love a good Bottle King. And I was like, you know what? Let me hit it up. I need wine for tonight's show. I saw it. They always have great prices. They do. So it was definitely affordable. And I was happy to have it because it's been a hot minute. Definitely recommend it.
I do like a red blend. So I'm going to look into that. Yes, so thank you for the recommendation. Hopefully our audience likes it as well. So let's get into our game. So this game is titled Katie and Caitlin super early playoff predictions. So don't worry, we're not as early as you think we are because we've seen this after the Super Bowl ends the next day. Who's going to win the Super Bowl next year?
And so we have to do it right before the season starts.
Absolutely. So we did do this last year, so don't think we're too crazy. But we're going to give you our 2020 NFL season playoff and Super Bowl predictions. We are going to pick a division winner. We are going to give you 3 wildcard teams for both the AFC and the NFC. We're going to give you the divisional championship. Excuse me. The NFC and AFC championship matchup. We're going to give you the Super Bowl matchup and our ultimate Super Bowl winner. So there's a lot going on in this game. Here. So how do we want to go about it? Do we want to do
our division winners first?
Okay. So for both, obviously that makes sense.
We'll start with the NFC. We'll do it together.
Okay. So I'm going to start. So I'm going to do it in order of my list. So let's start with the NFC West. Who do you have winning that division?
NFC West. It's funny that we're starting with this because last week was our wrap up of our best worst case scenario predictions. So
I did not take that into account.
This was fresh. No, this was fresh.
So no one go back and look at my receipts and be like, Caitlin, you're a dumbass.
This
you picked that team to lose.
This division was fresh in my mind, and I do feel as though even though the Niners are were NFC champions last year, I did feel as though they had a harder schedule than the Seattle Seahawks. And therefore, I'm giving the slight edge. I'm saying the Seattle Seahawks will win this division.
Yeah, obviously, I was between the two of them as well. And it did come down to like, all right, Caitlin, like you just have to pick one. And my gut told me to pick the San Francisco 49ers.
These could be the top 2 teams in the NFC again this year. They had, they were the top 2 last year. And it just unfortunately happens to be that Seattle got the 5 seed instead of getting the 1 seed, which is what I don't like. I think it should be similar to the NBA where it's like whatever your record is.
I agree.
If you had the second best record, you get the 2nd seed, not the 5 seed. So I don't like that. But anyways.
All right, let's move to the NFC North.
Okay. I am going with the Green Bay Packers, but I do believe it will be a tight race.
I agree it's going to be a tight race, and that is why I'm actually going with the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings. Lizzo, you killed it for everyone. I literally cannot see the word Minnesota Vikings.
You almost wish you were a Vikings fan just so you could sing that.
Or like dating a guy on the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah,
so I can literally
Minnesota Vikings.
Seriously, I would post
Adam Thielen's my boo now.
I would literally post that to Instagram.
Now I'm singing.
Minnesota Vikings.
I took your
see, it rubs off. It rubs off. All right, let's go to our division, the NFC East.
God, if they just don't like pull it together and do it, to me, it's like the Dallas Cowboys need to win this division.
I am too going with the Dallas Cowboys.
The talent is there, so you've got to make it happen.
Cut my heart out and just take it out there. And then finally, let's wrap up with the NFC South.
Yes, the NFC South.
But
we talked about this in our poll question with the Saints and the Buccaneers. You also have good teams. I think the Falcons had a weird year last year. They could bounce back.
Piss me off again.
The Carolina Panthers, they always kind of hover.
Yeah.
I'm going with the New Orleans Saints.
I am as well. And it's because we just were so, I don't know about those three other teams. You can't really enter a season and predict a divisional winner with an
I saw a really credible article. I forget what outlet it was. And they were doing a similar thing to we were and picking everything. And they did have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I just can't do that right now until I see it.
Yeah, like I definitely want to bring it back.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
All right. So that's the NFC.
Let's move over to the AFC and let's start with the AFC West.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs.
Hands down. Me as well. Moving to the AFC North.
AFC North, Baltimore Ravens.
Absolutely. Which is so funny. And we have brought this up in the past that division used to be just like very competitive, like going back and forth. And
it was a Ravens and Steelers division.
It really was.
Well, the Bengals were in the mix too for a while too.
But they're very similar to the AFC East where they play each other really well. There's always a tie in that division. Like they just always, no matter if the Steelers are 16-0
the
that
Browns
season, like it doesn't
get in the mix in the division matchups.
The Cowboys will find a way to screw it up. Hell yeah, they will. And hopefully the Giants take reign there. The AFC East.
AFC East. Ooh. It's like, do you still have faith in Bill Belichick and the Patriots, or do you go with who I went with the Buffalo Bills?
Same.
Yeah.
So I thought it was absolutely not hilarious, but I just thought it was a very timely conversation. So I've been over the past couple of weeks or so, having my morning coffee, watching things like Get Up, Good Morning Football, Sports Center. So I usually catch them when I can, but it's been part of my morning routine lately.
It's good.
You guys will find out later. So it's been a part of my morning routine, and I just the argument the other day came out like live on TV, New England over the Bills, and the argument was very strong with like, you need to be crazy if you think someone can take this away from the Patriots, no matter what happens. And I was like, well, like I strongly disagree. You lost your Super Bowl quarterback. Your running backs are absolutely shameful. Like, who do you have
Bills
anywhere
just
else?
Ended on a high note. To me, it's like you have a good D, right?
You just got Stephon Diggs.
You have a very good D. You just got Stephon Diggs. Like, your offense will get better. I felt like Josh Allen got a lot more comfortable towards the second half of the season. No, it's not going to be the Jets.
So stop saying
that. This is a 2-team race. And is it going to surprise me if the Patriots win it?
No,
not at all. I think it's going to be close.
You're right.
I also think whoever wins this division could very well win it with like a 9-7 record.
Absolutely.
I want to point that out as well. But I am going with Buffalo.
Me as well. And then the AFC South.
This is the most interesting division. I think you can make an argument for everybody.
You could, and I took a gamble here, I feel.
Yeah. Well,
maybe it's not. Maybe people won't think it is a gamble, but I took one.
So, you had the Tennessee Titans. They went to the playoffs last year, and they really stunned a lot of people and won a couple of games. That was very surprising. I don't think that's going to happen again. Houston Texans. I feel like Deshaun Watson is that team, and then who else have you put around him? And then going back to when we did research for our record predictions, I felt this team had the easiest schedule out of the 4. So when you have a tight race in that division, I'm going to give the slight edge to the team who has an easier schedule. I'm going to say Phillip Rivers and the Colts get it done.
You know what? So that was a very attractive pick to me. But I ended up going with the Tennessee Titans based off their playoff run last season. And maybe I said it was a gamble before, but maybe it's not a gamble. Maybe yours is more so a gamble. But I looked at Houston coming on top last season, and I just looked at them and nothing screamed out to me as winners. Nothing screamed out at all to me. I had no faith whatsoever. And I just, obviously, you know, I love my boy Derrick Henry, and I just went with the Titans, but I could make the argument for the Colts too. I said that was an attractive pick to me.
Usually it's funny. Usually you have the opposite where you have a really good roster, but you're still searching for that quarterback to push you over the edge. And to me, with the Houston Texans, you have that quarterback.
You do have him.
And you have
That's
not
like all
surrounded
you have.
with
That's
him
all you
with
have.
anything. That's all they have.
And he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah, he's a I mean, honestly, you can group him with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You can group him with Lamar Jackson. These are the young guys in the league who can run.
Kid's a national champion. He's a good, talented
kid. But it's
kid.
not going to happen no matter what. If you do not surround your stellar quarterback with weapons, it's not going to happen.
All right. So Colts won the AFC East, more recent than the Bills. So that's what we just comment on.
Yes, the Colts.
I'm loving the commentary
used
tonight.
to be
Keep the comments coming. I'm loving the commentary.
That's funny. The Colts way back in the day used to be in that division. So honestly, I think it was like 2004 was the last time where the Patriots didn't win it. I think it was the Jets, and it could be anywhere from 2004 to 2006. Right. Mark Sanchez's first couple seasons. But Mark it's been a hot minute. So I'm kind of pushing for the Bills to get this.
Listen, I'm pushing for
you know what I mean?
So, break it. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to the NFC. And what are the 3 wild card picks?
Isn't that crazy to say 3 wild card teams?
But I'm loving it.
I'm actually really happy, especially on the NFC side, because when I was trying to pick my wild card teams, I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of good NFC teams.
And the AFC, I was like, these teams suck.
But the NFC, like, it was
like,
hard.
Why can't the New York Giants be in the AFC?
I mean, we're now getting 7 teams on each side, and it was hard to pick 7 from the NFC because there's a lot of good ones.
Yes.
My wild card teams, definitely 100% the San Francisco 49ers.
Right.
Just they're not winning their division, but they're in there. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get in there.
All right.
And the Minnesota Vikings will also get in there. All 3 of those teams could potentially win their division, but I didn't pick them to win it, and they'll slide in at the wild card spots.
Well, I'm trying to shock the world here and be a little optimistic with our team. So I am going with the Seattle Seahawks, the Green Bay Packers, and I'm throwing in the New York Giants because I'm doing it because I know you make that face, but I'm doing it. I don't care.
Well, okay. I mean, if you're right, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, you better cheer when it happens.
Of course I'm going to cheer when it happens, but it's not going to happen.
I'm doing it. I
honestly almost even consider putting in the Philadelphia Eagles.
I did as well. I actually did as well, which literally, again, cut my heart out. And like, please, I hope someone's not listening to this. But I literally thought about them too, but I'm putting in the Giants there. So
you're batshit. But okay, move on.
All right, let's do the AFC wild cards.
Right?
Sorry, what?
I'm just reading the comments. I also need pauses for when I read the comments.
I thought you were looking at my paper. I was like, don't look at my answers. Don't cheat. We have to get like a barrier. Right. We're not 6 feet apart. We need to get that barrier.
Literally, like we hang out all the time. So
I know, it's just joshing.
I work with Caitlin's brother now. And the other day I was like, feel how cold my hands are. And he was like, COVID. I was like, I hang out with your family like all day, every day. Like, shut up. What are you talking about?
I literally am you guys.
I am a Broward.
We are one.
So just leave me alone. All right. AFC, is that yes? AFC wildcard teams. Okay. I am going to say the Patriots because again, it's almost weird to imagine a playoffs without them in it. I'm going with the Steelers.
Okay.
Still have a little bit of faith in them. I am going with, this is my weird one, but I've been saying it all along. My dark horse, slide right into the last wild card spot, the Denver Broncos.
I picked them as well. I am going with the Houston Texans. Okay. So I'll let them slide in. Yep. So I did not pick the Steelers actually, because my faith is just not there. And I do believe that they're going
downhill. I think the fact that there will be 3 wild card teams can benefit
this
them.
Season will be very telling.
They also play in a division with the Browns, who I think are going downhill as well.
Yeah.
And the Bengals, who even though they have Joe Burrow, aren't going to go. They're not going to go up this year. We can all agree it's not going to go up this year. So to me,
it might be like plateauing.
They have two teams that they could potentially shut out.
Yeah.
They could win 2 games against the Bengals, win 2 against the Browns.
Division that plays really well against each other.
I know, but still.
So I'm going with the Houston Texans, the Denver Broncos. I picked them as well. Because I'm very, I'm very happy that you brought that up like months back. I'm very full on board with that being like a dark horse. So.
Noah Fant, a sleeper tight end for you guys when you were drafting in fantasy. I have I feel good about him. I
picked him as my sleeper.
Sutton, I feel good about.
Obviously,
Drew Lock, as much as I'm loving him, don't draft him as your number 1 quarterback. If you have a deep league, if you have a lot of people in your league and you need a backup quarterback, most people do. That's a good backup.
I think he's my backup. So and then the New England Patriots. So I'm not going to count them out entirely.
You can't,
not entirely.
Yeah,
so.
No. All right, still got Bill Belichick.
So the NFC Championship game, and obviously we don't know what seeds are and things are like that. Right. So this is all hypothetical.
Right, because we don't know who's going to match up against.
Well, that's the thing. Like when I was looking at this, I was like, could this even happen? You don't know.
You don't know.
Don't come at us.
We didn't go that deep into
seriously. It. Don't come at our throats, okay?
So we're doing NFC first?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints.
Okay.
And I'm standing by what I said last week, that this could be like a dark horse playoff team to advance further than people might think with the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. I'm picking the Saints as well. And I'm putting them against the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo! You went with like a little bit of a dark horse matchup too there. I like it.
Whoa. This one might be a little bit of a shocker too. So the AFC Championship game.
No, mine's not a shocker at all. It's Chiefs versus Ravens.
So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills.
Woo! Okay, literally, Giants are making the playoffs. Bills are making the NFC Championship game. Minnie's making the NFC Championship.
You heard it here first.
Listen, I'll buy her wine. I'll buy her brunch. I'll buy her whatever.
My life, because I'm good at this shit.
I'm good at this shit. Okay, relax. It didn't happen yet. Oh my god!
And then let's go with your Super Bowl matchup.
Let's see how far you took these weird picks.
All right.
Not far. That's where we draw the line.
Disclaimer, not far.
Plot twist. I am going with the Kansas City Chiefs beating the Ravens coming out of the AFC, and I am going to continue to see heartbreak happen for the Saints, get so close but not get there. I'm going the Seattle Seahawks versus the Chiefs.
All right. And do you want to say your winner, or do you want to do the matchup?
No, you do your matchup.
I'm having the Saints come out of the NFC Championship game, and I'm having them play against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, all right. Now we'll say our Super Bowl winners. I was this close, people listening, very tiny amount, close to putting the Chiefs versus the Saints in the Super Bowl. Last minute, I was like, you know what? I'm still going with the Seahawks. I have a weird feeling about them. But I do believe this is going to be a back-to-back Super Bowl win for just an unbelievably dynamic Chiefs team.
I agree. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl.
And I said it.
Actually, I did tweet that the Giants were going to win the Super Bowl.
So a lot of people,
I still am dedicated to that. But for the purposes of tonight, the Kansas City Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl.
There was a lot of talk and a lot of fuss about, not negative fuss, but when Patrick Mahomes got paid that contract and that deal that he did, right? And to me, it was like, okay, he got that contract. How many Super Bowls do I realistically see Patrick Mahomes winning? And I do believe that he will win 3.
Yeah.
And so to me, like, this is your window. So I think you'll win your next 2 in the next couple seasons.
Absolutely.
I'm going that it's going to be a back-to-back, and you're going
I do want people to like remain realistic, though. If it doesn't happen this season, let's not like nail him down and be like, "Are you kidding?"
No, I mean, what I'm saying
or just
is
the organization.
Essentially, if it didn't
him.
happen this season, I think it could happen the next season.
Oh, absolutely.
I do believe that probably within the next 3 Super Bowls, one of those will be the Chiefs.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair, 100%.
All right, that was a good one.
No, I liked that game. It was good.
I can't wait to look back at the end of the year because there's always like one or two teams that
I think I had
really
the Ravens
really
winning
surprising.
the Super Bowl last year in our game.
Did you?
I got to look back. I think I did.
I remember telling my husband, a 49ers fan, that as much as they looked promising, I said, they're going to be 9-7. They're just going to miss the playoffs. And they were in the Super Bowl.
There we were.
So I honestly love I love looking back at it. I love being surprised. There's always a couple teams that were really good the year before that do a slide. Teams that you weren't expecting to be good,
right?
Raise up. And so this is going to be a good season. I'm excited for it.
For sure.
All right. That point in the night, time to get it off our chest. Positive, negative, football, housewives, life, wine. I already gave my wine ad tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think I know what Caitlin's is, and I might just piggyback off it because I don't feel too passionate about anything. My thing was like, it's September. I'm excited. It's like basically
football's like right around the corner.
Football's right here.
It's been
time for pumpkin
like
beers. Got my pumpkin candles.
I had a pumpkin beer the other night. And the pumpkin candles have been lit for like 2 weeks.
Super freaking excited. Yeah. So that's like my itty bitty. And now I'm going to piggyback off of Caitlin's big itty bitty.
My big itty bitty. So it's more of like a confessional or like a news announcement.
Pretend you're on the real world and like you just went.
It's a confessional. Like I need to so I already let my Twitter followers know, which is hilarious. So I guess I let all my social media followers know because it's on Instagram and Facebook.
It's probably news to nobody right now.
Well, no, some of the pod might not ever follow me on anything. Things that's fine. So I've got some personal news. I am officially dating someone, but the kicker is I am dating an Eagles fan.
Don't worry, people watching live to look for my reaction. I've had time for this to soak in and think about it and really like try to accept it. I'll never accept it. No. But I can accept him as a person.
Yes.
For you who are watching out there, I'm sure.
Yes. Okay, great. So it has definitely been a wild ride thus far being an Eagles Giants couple. And I mean, we're not even, my cousin just commented, going to be a good Christmas. Let's not,
sign me up. I want to watch that shit. I want to be there when he meets the family for the first time. That's what I want to be there for. Like, honestly, explain yourself. Like, sit down and explain.
Explain why you made the life
why
decision
you are
of
who you are.
Why are you an Eagles fan? So it's definitely was a kicker in the initial conversations of us meeting each other of like, you're an Eagles fan. Like, don't even look at me. Don't even breathe in my direction. Things like that. But yeah, so that is like my breaking news. There are ground rules laid out though. Yeah. So I, as a Giants fan and a very dedicated Giants fan, you guys know how Katie and I are. You've been following us for over 2 years now. Yep. We don't watch games out at bars. We prefer to watch them alone.
We really don't even watch it with each other. So.
No, I think Katie and I have watched 2 games.
Essentially,
3 games
when we go to games
together,
that's when we're watching
them together. I watch them with my family occasionally. Like since I've moved out into my house, I've been watching them alone on Sundays. Right. It's just to us, it's a very you're focused. You're just we obviously
your own space,
and no matter like the Giants could tank for the next 18 years, knock on wood, but we still take it so seriously and so emotionally. It's not like we don't care ever. Like we care. Right. Too much.
We care too much. I've said that for years. I said, I wish I didn't give 2 shits about this, but unfortunately I do.
So we probably care too much. So ground rules have been laid out.
Yeah.
Oh no, what? Okay. My cousin commented again. But so basically, so the ground rules are laid out. I don't want to see any like Eagles paraphernalia. I'm not trying to, but I'm also being respectful as well. I'm not going to rub the Giants in his face. No games together. That's it. We're no watching games together. So 2 games out of the whole season, we just cannot be together in the same room. Please don't text me or call me if the Giants lost. Like give it a couple hours to like let me marinate in it. And yeah, it just has to be a very respectful relationship. And because we know how Eagles fans can be, and all of you listening out there, you know who you are and you know how you are. You know how you act.
I'm gonna get it off my chest on a very positive note.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the high road on this one. A very positive outlook. as much as Caitlin and I always promised, we were like, no, that's a deal breaker.
I literally said no.
We literally said no, that is a deal breaker.
I've said it on
the
show.
We would never date an Eagles fan. We would never date a Cowboys fan. Yes, it's documented. You can pull the receipts.
You can.
Play the highlight reel.
They're there.
The thing I'm going to choose to take the high road on this one is I did slightly worry that if Caitlin ended up dating a Giants fan, that she would start going to Giants games with him and not with me anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like slightly worried about that, because my husband isn't a Giants fan. So like, we don't have to worry about that on my end. Like when I get Giants tickets or when I want to go to a game, I'm calling Caitlin first and foremost before anybody else. You know what I mean? So I almost worried, like, if she dates a Giants fan, she's going to like start going to games without me. And that would have broken my heart. So I'm going to choose to look at it that way.
Looking at it positively.
Yeah.
As we all need to look at it.
We have to try and pull the positives any way we can out of this situation.
Any way, shape, or form. We do understand this is very new. And again, you can pull the receipts. We've said it many a times. We would never cross into that. But I have crossed uncharted territories and
truly uncharted.
So far, so good, though. Things are going
Football
great.
season hasn't started yet.
I know. It's going to be like a good 4 months of no speaking.
We'll get back to you on get it off my chest, like, midway through the season. How
I am pissed.
Whenever the Giants and Eagles play each other for the first time, that next Wednesday, we will report on
What I do need to promise people, though, is again, though, I am going to reciprocate being respectful. So I'm not, if the Giants win, I'm not going to tout it. I'm not going to run over and be like, it
has to work both ways.
I 100% have said that, and I will be respectful. I'm not a douchey Eagles fan, but I'm also a respectful human being.
And listen, I'm going to be the same exact way towards your boyfriend because honestly, like I don't shit talk because I don't want to hear it back because I'll literally lose it. I'll lose my mind. So he can know too. It's not going to come from me because I don't want it back. So
I did write on my Twitter when I announced it to my Twitter audience, which is hilarious because I do have a lot of Giants. Like the Giants family is like my big family on Twitter. I was like, I'm taking limited questions at this time. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but that is where we are. So
I met him. I had several questions.
She did. And what is your approval rating? We're good. Good.
Except he also happens to be a Kentucky basketball
I had no
fan,
idea about that. I would have
like,
I had no idea.
He's big 0 for 2 for on there.
Honestly, I would have no idea. I would have known. I would have said that. I would have said
you didn't even get me ready for that one.
I had no idea. That was you handled it beautifully. It was a huge blindside for both of us.
I try to be nice. All
right, so that is it for tonight. Thank you so much joining us for our 125th episode. We had a blast with you this evening. If you're listening to on the pod, we had a blast with you this episode.
Yeah.
So do not miss Real Houses of Beverly Hills is on tonight. It is Wednesday, 9 p.m. Real Houses in New York is on tomorrow night, Thursday.
Coming towards the end of both of those seasons,
we are at 9 p.m. Potomac is on. So Beverly Hills tonight I think it's the reunion, actually.
It might.
I think it is the first.
And honestly, New York is about to either hit their 21st or 22nd episode. So they're close. They're done too.
They're coming out. Potomac is off to a hot start. Apparently, I've been hearing some great things and some hilarious things on Sunday at 9 p.m. So you got 9 p.m. throughout. Right. The Orange County trailer dropped today. I watched it. It was meh. But it happened mid-COVID. So it's a lot of personal filming. So that's probably, I think probably people are meh. Salt Lake City they said
the fall.
The trailer.
And they did
drops
say
tomorrow.
In the fall.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
the trailer drops tomorrow, though. We don't know timing or anything.
I can't wait to see what these women look like, to see what Salt Lake City looks like.
Yeah, be glued to your social media tomorrow, though, because the trailer apparently does drop tomorrow.
Good.
HBO Hard Knocks, obviously still going on. You have that Tuesdays at 10 p.m. I've been watching it on Sundays.
Next week is the last episode.
Okay.
Again, remember, you're not seeing preseason games this year. And yes, next week is the season finale.
And then this is the most...
I can't even
get ready. I'm like shaking. I'm nervous. I'm sweating. I'm so excited. It's like I don't even know what to say. The NFL season opener, Houston at Kansas City, 8 days away.
So next time you see us,
It's gonna
it'll
be
literally be tomorrow. It'll be like Christmas Eve.
Literally.
And then the next day is
Should
Christmas.
we wear our Giants onesies because it's like Christmas Eve for us?
We should literally just have a Christmas episode because, yeah, that's what it is.
Honestly, thank you guys so much for joining us. Going to do a quick cheers and a quick giant pause because we're drinking. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.